Hello, and this time we're talking about best buys, sometimes called comparative costs. And essentially, it's just looking at two different sized packets of things, maybe, or just two different quantities with two different prices, and saying for the amount that you get, which one is better value. So, obviously, the smaller packet is cheaper, but per gram or per 100 grams is the more expensive one. Yes, you're spending more money, but are you getting, more grams for your money, for your pound or whatever it is? And these questions, it's just a case of making one of these quantities the same and then seeing for the other quantity whether it's bigger or lower. So in these cases, because it's with money, you want to make the amount of grams the same or the amount of milliliters the same, and look at the converted prices, and the one with the lower price is the better value for money, and that's the sensible one to purchase. But in other cases, you might want to maximize something. It might be that a different amount, instead of the grams, that a larger packet is more likely to produce a winning ticket or something like that. And obviously you want to maximize your winning potential rather than, in this case, minimizing your outgoing monies. So it's quite straightforward to do. We just have to pick something that is easy to turn both of these into. So you could say 100 grams. You could half this, because if you half 200, you get 100. So half that amount, and do a third of this would give you also 100 grams, and do a third of this. This seems sensible because that keeps the numbers sort of vaguely normal, but you don't have to. If the numbers aren't nice, you can always just go down to 1, and you get ridiculous numbers, but it's not a problem at all. If you think about this, if you divide that by itself, 200, you get 1, so just divide that by 200. Divide that by 300, you get 1. Divide that by 300. And if we do that, we can get a calculator on the job. We can say 5.69 divided by the 200 grams is a very small amount. So the first packet is going to give us, let's say the 200 gram packet is going to give us 0.02845. 0.02845. And that's in pounds, okay, per gram. Whereas the other one is going to be 7.49 divided by 300. And this one is 0.02496 recurring. So 0.02496 recurring, 496 recurring pounds, and this is for the 300 grams. Again, this is the price per gram. So obviously, if we want the cheaper one, this is 2.4. Apologies for my terrible handwriting. 2.4 is smaller than 2.8. So in this case, the larger packet is the cheaper. This is normally the case, but when it is sort of larger packets. But you've got to watch out. There's plenty of times I've been in the supermarket and reached for the larger packet and thought, hang on a minute, and then a quick check has shown that actually the smaller one is better value. Usually it's because the smaller value is on offer, the smaller packet is on offer, and you think, okay, well, does that then bring it to be cheaper than buying the bigger packet? And sometimes it does. So it's definitely worth, we all have a phone in our pockets when we're out and about, so we have a calculator and just a quick divide and, save yourself a little bit of money. What do they say? Take care of the pennies and the pounds take care of themselves. Something like that anyway. Same thing for this one. We're just going to reduce it down to just 1 mil. So for this one, we're just going to divide by however many mil we've got, which is 900. So £5.50 divided by 900 is, okay, so very small. Which is why it might be better in these situations, because they're nice round hundreds, to just divide by 9, and then you don't have all those zeros to work at. It doesn't make a difference really in the grand scheme of things. 0.61 recurring. I'll just put 0.61. That's for 100 mil. And then this one, if we do the exact same thing, we do 2.5 divided by 4, and we get a 0.625. So obviously 611 is smaller than 625, so in this case, again, the larger one is better, as in it's better value for money. In real life, you've got to also ask yourself, are you going to use all of that? And if, okay, shampoo, well, fair enough, not a problem, and even coffee. But if it's going to be something that's perishable, then obviously if you're not going to use it all, then you might be better paying a little bit more, not to waste the product, but also the money that you then throw away. Please stay clear of doing sort of crazy scaly-uppy things where people go, okay, well, this is 400, so if I double that, then that's £5 for 800 mil, and then, well, if I do, and then this, if I take that amount, well, a ninth of that would be, and you just get a bit involved. It's quite hard to mark those for the examiner, and if you haven't got a really clear, written method, then you're probably not going to get the marks. If you've made a little mistake somewhere, you won't get the marks. Whereas here, it's very clear. Just scale it down to what would 1 milliliter cost? What would 1 milliliter cost? Or in this case, we did 100 mil. But if you can cope with lots of 0 points, then just take it down to 1, and then you can just do a straight comparison. And whichever one is better, not necessarily always the cheaper one, because say it might not be price, it might be a different quantity that you want to maximize, like a probability of winning or something like that. And then you can just show which one's better. It does say work out which is the best value for money. So if you just work out these and stop there, then you don't get the mark. And if you circle that one, that's not always enough. Yeah, so you do need that extra little bit on the answer at the end that says, if this was called brand A, bottle A and bottle B, or you just say the larger bottle is better, something like that. That's really important to write that sentence down in an exam to make sure you get that final mark for actually answering the question. I don't think I've missed anything on this. It is quite a straightforward thing, but if you do notice that I've missed something important or you have any questions, then pop them down into the comments below, and if not, ta-ra for now.